get after it and do it however you need to do it. You need to do pull-ups like that too. It's a great way to do assisted pull-ups, right? Put your foot on a bench and help yourself up. Grab a band, help yourself up, right? Everyone's got to start somewhere. And just because I'd rather start late than fucking never start or never do it. So get out there and get after this shit. Here we go. All right. Yeah, program, training at 40, Operation LFG, look and feel good. Operation Let's Fucking Go. Doing great. All the members on there are so awesome. All over the message boards. It's a really cool program. It's doing great, and people are loving it. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we launched that. I wasn't sure if it was something I really wanted to go into, and so I'm glad I did. It's cool. It's a combination of all the knowledge that I've learned over my years of training and making it work for people who maybe don't have a goal of going into the military or a sport training or going into law enforcement, but just want to train to be healthy, look good. Everyone wants to look jacked and big when they're with their shirt off, and to be fit still though too, right? To not only look fit but be fit, and do it in a amount of time that is okay for people with everyday jobs and life and kids and lots of things going on, right? So you still have to get that in. You still have to give yourself your little bit of time. It's not being selfish by going in and working out. It's actually making yourself the best version of you for the people around you. All right, so today's workout is we're going to start with strength, which is going to be upper body focused. We're going to go bench, incline dumbbell, and then into dips. Then we're going to do some conditioning with strength built in, Fight on Bad style rows, devil press, which I like because they don't get you sore, but they're tough, they're hard, and they get your heart rate up. We're going to do some strict pull-ups and then light back squatting at 225. 225 is light for me. It doesn't have to be for everyone. This could be, that's roughly around 50%, I would say, of my 1 rep max. So yeah, 45, 50% is where you're looking at. And then you're going to rest a minute, and you're going to do that for 3 to 5 rounds. That's Fight on Bad. We're going to do 5 rounds today. And then we're going to finish with some accessory work for our core. So we're going to do some strict toes to bar. If you can't do strict toes to bar, you could always do strict knees to elbows. It's basically where you're just kind of removing the kip out of it. And if you can't do that, obviously we can always do anchored sit-ups. And then we're going to do some L-sit holds. And L-sit holds are really nasty, really great, more of like a static hold than hitting the core through movement, right? So now we're just going to basically contract it, sit in that L-sit, and that will really get the core going good. So again, this is another day on my Operation LFG program. And yeah, I love it. It's quick, to the point. You get great growth out of it, right? You're going to put on some size. You're going to get, drop some fat. And, we're going to hit everything in all of these movements. And so you get 5 workouts a week. They're roughly 60-minute workouts. And you don't need a ton of equipment, right? Anything that we have, you do. If you don't have, we can give you substitutes for it. We will throw in like sled pushes here and there, and we have options for that. A lot of people don't realize is just pushing a plate across the floor is just as good as a sled push. You don't need an actual sled. So yeah, the program's phenomenal. People are loving it. Come join the squad. So anyways, here we go. So for bench, I like to stick into the 8 to 10 rep range is where I'm looking to go. We're going to do 4 sets today, 4 sets of 10, resting about 90 seconds between sets, not too much longer than that. We're going to go into incline. For incline, we're going to do 3 sets of 15 lighter. And we're going to try to really work on speed on those. Again, about 90 seconds of rest on those. And then we'll do some weighted dips. You know, anybody who doesn't like to do a bench, I don't know if I can trust them. So I love benching. Benching is one of the first things I really started doing as a kid. Remember, we got a bench, a bench rack, some crappy one, but it was in the basement. And so, benching was literally 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Benching, I loved it. And, definitely, everyone wants to have some big pecs as a dude. You don't want to look all bird chested, so it's fun. And I enjoy doing it. And you can, sometimes we do it for strength. Sometimes we'll add in bike or row with it to get your heart rate up while you're doing it. You can make it fun. And so, just doing flat bench, though, I like to go from doing barbells to dumbbells, switching it up. I just like to just trying to changes up the stimulus. And so, yeah. But again, I'm really looking at the 8 to 10 rep range. I'm not looking to get the heaviest bench press. I don't care what my 1 rep max typically is, but I do like to do volume at heavier weights. So, yeah. Like right now, I kind of want to be able to hit that 225 for as many as I can. Today, I don't think we'll get to 225. I'll probably, if I'm going to try to stay in the 8 to 10 rep range, I'm probably going to stay around 205 to 215 for those 4 sets. So we'll see how it feels though. I get a couple warm up sets in, get the chest firing. Really try on the up portion of the lift. I'm trying to go as fast as possible. 2 warm up sets. Again, just trying to get those muscles firing. This will be first working set, 205. Yeah. Love a good bench sesh. I like putting bench into workouts too. It's really fun. It's just a good movement, right? And I don't know, some people don't bench, some people love it. I'm one of those guys, I just love it. Like I said, I think this is the first workout I started doing as a kid, so why not? All right, 90 seconds. I'm really resting 90 seconds too. It gets tough with those sets of 10. So something I think about when I'm doing my bench press, right? Get my shoulders down and back, right? I don't want to be loose. It helps me get into a better position. Trying not to flare my elbows out too much. Trying to keep them at 45s off the body as I'm driving that weight up. Get those feet pressing into the floor too. You don't want to be a wet noodle. So little things, all the little things to be more efficient in your movements. I like to make it fun when working out because workouts like this, right, can be really slow, monotonous. I don't know. I mean, bench is fun, but lifting heavy for me has always been something so boring sometimes. And so I love adding it into workouts where your heart rate's up a little bit and you're under fatigue a little bit. If you need this strength in the real world, it's probably going to be under fatigue or some sort of stressor or high heart rate or something like that. So like I said, this is not something I enjoy. This isn't like my favorite parts of the workout by any means. Some people it is. Some people hate the conditioning part. So, just still doing it even though it might not be the most fun. If you don't like doing it, it's probably because you should be doing it. All right, last set of this. And these are rep ranges, right? So I put rep ranges on these workouts because it's not always going to be there. You don't have to feel if you don't hit the highest number that I program. So if it's 8 to 10 reps, if you don't hit 10, you're not failing, right? But if it's there, fuck it, do it. So I don't want to program 8 reps when you have 10 in you. For growth, right? If you're trying to actually put on size and look good, right? Going to maximal sets is huge. And that's typically where you're going to get put on a little bit of size, put on some growth. When you hit those when you do those max sets, that's actually going to stimulate the growth the most. And then another fun little fact for benching, it's like, so think about breaking the bar, taking your pinkies towards each other. So externally rotating those shoulders is going to put you in the strongest position.
Do you ever fail down here by yourself on a bench?
Just the other day, the last time I was benching, which was, I don't know, 5-6 days ago. And a cool thing, so if you don't have straps, right, or have a rack with the safety bars, because those are actually great. If you have safety bars, you can actually put them to where, you know, the bar touches them just either right on or right off your chest. So if you fail, you're good. You can just slide underneath. Or never use clips on bench. And if you fail, if you do go to fail and you're by yourself, lower, you know, don't let it just slam on your chest, obviously. Let it drop, and you just tip the weights off. And yeah, it looks stupid. You look an ass, but it's safer, right? If you have clips on your bar, when you're doing that, you can't just tip it off. Now you're pinned by the weight. So don't use clips on bench. Boom. Bench first, right into incline. Again, just right into it. No, not a ton of rest. Now your chest is fired up. I'm gonna start at a little lighter. I might just stay there, depending. I'm gonna try to go to, so my rep ranges here is 12 to 15 for 4 sets. So really blow out the chest, get it pumped. So I'm gonna go 70-pound dumbbells. I like dumbbell incline. Barbell incline's fine though too. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll hit that again. Same thing, right? Get that big breath in before you kick those weights up, and then try to, on the up portion of that lift, go fast. Pumped. The pump is real. Woo. When you're doing chest a lot, which we do, because we don't, like I said, nobody wants a bird chest. Your shoulders, like this part of your chest is gonna get tight. It's gonna inhibit your shoulders range of motion. Just taking that ball, a lacrosse ball, right up in that top upper corner of that pec. You smash it against a wall, and then put this arm through some range of motion, right? And really press into that. Got to make sure those shoulders have some mobility in them. So last little strength part is rear delt lateral raises. I like to do these again because when I do bench or chest, typically I'll get a little bit of pain in my shoulder because I feel like the upper back, the shoulders aren't getting activated as much. I like to activate them at the end with some rear delt lateral raises, which is basically a lateral raise, just slightly chest forward. So I'm gonna sit at the end of my bench, really focus on the elbow going high, and that will really engage that rear part of the delt or the shoulder. So just get a little bent over, and then it's nice and pull up and back slightly. I like to actually throw the back part of that dumbbell out. So almost do a little bit of rotation. Yeah, you get a good pump on that back of that shoulder. That feels good. Just 3 sets of 15 here. Trying to go to, you know, what I like to tell my kids when I make them do the shoulder activities for the throwing arms and stuff. Go till it really, really hurts and do 1 more rep. So this is the muscle right here. This is the thing that we really want to feel start to blow up. That back part of that shoulder. You have a hard time feeling that muscle burn on these. I find doing single arms, you can really feel it in that side better. There is times where for some reason I just can't get it to feel that pump in that back of that shoulder. I'll go to single arm, and what I'll do is I'll hold both dumbbells up still, and then I'll just go one-sided. I feel so much more when I do single arm. So if you have the time, go single arm. We're gonna make an adjustment to the workout because I didn't think about the back squats and the pull-ups. We're gonna do a light front squat instead of a back squat. Both are supposed to be light. So I'm gonna go 135 on the front squat. This will be super light. You know, all that means is I gotta do more reps. So that's fine because volume is kind of the key right now for when you're trying to build muscle, right? Create the stimulus that helps the growth happen. So this will be good, easy. You can pull it from the ground. You don't have to have a rack. So if you're doing this, yeah, 135 is light, great. If not, 95 pounds, a barbell, even holding And if you want to do a goblet squat with a kettlebell or dumbbell, you can do that too. That's fine. That, hurts just as bad. So if you ever need help, I'm always here. I love helping people to figure out ways to work out. So that's the cool part about my program. I'm on the message board every day, probably 2 or 3 times a day, checking messages, making sure I'm answering questions, checking my DMs, making sure I'm answering those questions. If people have questions about how to substitute stuff, how to or why we're doing things, or if they're like, hey, could you send me some stretches because this is hurting or whatever. Like, I'm here and I love it. I love helping people out on their fitness journeys. It's something that I just have, I'm really passionate about, and that's why I'm doing this. And so I just love this stuff. So again, 5 rounds, 1 minute, start on the rower, next minute, so I have my clock set for 1 minute intervals. There's no rest in between. So the moment that clock hits 0, it'll beep and it'll start the next minute. I'm up and doing my next movement. So a lot of times if you want to hop off that the prior movement about 5 seconds in, then, you can get over to your, get your couple seconds, take a breath onto your next movement, right? So if you're stopping around 55 seconds, that's fine too, but have a clock where you can see it. So on my pull-ups, I'm going to rotate through grips. So I'm going to go normal pull-up, neutral grip, and then chin up. I won't get through all 3 of them twice. I'll get through the pull-up and the neutral grip twice. I love kind of doing that, rotating the grips and the pull-ups. It makes it fun. So yes, here we go. That was good. Hit the stimulus. Definitely got some pump, and my heart rate was high. So, if you pick the right weights, have a play with nasal breathing when you're done with these workouts. Nasal breathing will open up. Let me turn that off. When you're recovering, you can try to play with nasal breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And it will help you get your heart rate back down a little bit. It'll open up produce more nitric oxide in the body naturally by nasal breathing. So I know right off the bat it's gonna take a second, but if you can get into your nasal breathing early and warming up with it's actually really good. But that was good. The row, I maintained 20 to 21 calories every set. I was on the devil press, I went 98877. Those got tough.
coming right off that row. Heart rate was up pretty high. They're just hard to move through fast. So I went 45-pound dumbbells though. I went lighter. Normally I'm 55-pound dumbbells. I wanted to keep moving, where if I go a little heavier, you might break. Pull-ups, I maintained. I went 17, 17, 16, 15, 16 were my numbers on there. And so I was happy with that. Staying strict-ish, right? It's like, strict is a hard thing to say. As long as you don't feel like you're kipping, that's good. You know, try to use it as little as possible. If you get shut down, by all means, if you need a little kip up, you'll still get some quality pump out of it. Right into those front squats. Those front squats hurt because it's on the front, right? So it's restricting your breathing, pressing on those lungs, finding a good rhythm of up and down. You should have a weight to where you can keep it up in your shoulders the whole time. I did drop it, I think twice, but I actually maintained my numbers. I went 17, 16, 17, 18, 20. My last set, I actually got 20. So I found the front squats were the thing I found a better rhythm in throughout the workout. But my legs were definitely getting pumped on that, which I loved. So yeah, that's a great strength and conditioning component. And it's a mental grind, right? You have numbers to try to maintain, and that's what's cool. And these movements that we're doing, they're gonna give you size in certain parts of your body. We are isolating, like with a front squat, we're isolating your quads to an extent, you know. With a pull-up, we're isolating your back and lats to an extent. But these I feel like are more functional movements than just sitting on a leg extension or a lat pull down machine. I'm not saying that those things don't serve a purpose, they do. But I think what's cool about this program is the fact that you can still get a pump, you can still isolate, get growth in the muscles that you want to grow, and get a good conditioning piece. Get your heart rate up, because if your heart's not strong, I don't care how strong your muscles are, right? You're not going to live long without a strong heart. And so yeah, really fun piece. Now we have to hit our core right after this now. So my heart rate feels a lot lower than it was a second ago. Feeling pretty good. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 strict toes to the bar into a max L sit or accumulate 60 seconds. So if I can't get 60 seconds, I'm gonna break it, see how long. So say I kick up, I hit 30 seconds. I drop for 5 seconds. I still owe 30 more seconds in that round. So accumulate. So you put them back up, maybe you get 15 seconds the second time. Now you're at 45 seconds. Take a second rest, take a couple seconds rest, kick them back up. Now you gotta get 60 seconds of accumulative time for each round. So 10 strict toes to the bar, 3 rounds, 10 strict toes to the bar, accumulate 1 minute of L sit. So here we go. So when you're doing these strict toes to the bar, right, remember the down portion is gonna be hard, where you're gonna wanna kind of let your legs go and kind of almost, it's hard not to let it kick back and get a little swing in it. So really try to control the descent on it. And if you can, settle that before you go up for your next one. If you get a little swing, it's okay. You know, again, these are for you. These aren't being judged by anybody. They're for to gain some core strength. So just some accessory piece, just 3 by 10. They're tough though. So again, play with them. And maybe if you can't get them strict right off the bat, right? Use a little kip. Just use less kip than normal, or strict knees to elbows, or just strict up until an L sit, right? Just strict there until you can try to get the toes all the way to bar. This is your journey. This is your progression. Nobody else's, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. So just do what you're capable of doing and then go on from there, and don't compare yourself. So for the L sit, this can be tough. Try to keep those feet up. You can have a little bend in the knee out off the bat if you want to, right? Even holding yourself in this position. If you don't have 2 benches, just stack some plates. Maybe grab a couple dumbbells, right? Just basically where you can get your butt off the ground. And these hurt. So, right. Look at your quads too. All right, so that was close to 25 seconds. So take a couple seconds. Whew. It's been about 15 seconds. Whew. There's 15 seconds. So we're at 45. Oh. All right, 15 more seconds. I'm gonna rest 15. And I gotta get 15. On and go. Oh, 4 seconds. And 4 more seconds. Come on. 60 seconds. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I gotta start doing those a little more. All right, so for my dips, I'm just gonna add these in here. I'm gonna do 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. Dips, baby. Upper body squatting, triceps, shoulders, pecs, all of it. If you can't do weighted, do unweighted. If you can't do unweighted, do assisted. So remember, this is your journey, this is your progression, and fuck everybody else. So whatever you need to do. So do supported dips. Don't be embarrassed of that shit. Everyone starts at a certain spot, right? And fuck everybody else. Do your thing, be you. And nobody cares, because guess what? Most people won't even fucking come in and do this stuff. So get after it and do it however you need to do it. You need to do pull-ups like that too. It's a great way to do assisted pull-ups, right? Put your foot on a bench and help yourself up. Grab a band, help yourself up, right? Everyone's got to start somewhere. And just because I'd rather start late than fucking never start or never do it. So get out there and get after this shit. Chest will be good tomorrow. All right, well, there you go. Another day training at 40. You don't have to be 40 to do this program. You could be 50, 60, 20, fucking 18, 32. Nobody gives a shit, right? This program is for people who are just looking to stay fit, look fit, right? Everybody wants to look fit. Everyone wants to look jacked and cut up and shredded, and be healthy and still be able to beat your kids at sports or your friends. So this sport is going to use functional movements. We're going to do isolation. We're going to get you, put a size on you, cut you up, right? It's going to do all the things. There's going to be progressions, some zone 2, some, make sure that heart's healthy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, this is what a day like this program looks like. Again, I'm on the message board. Anytime you need anything, anytime you have any questions, hit me up. I'm always there on the message board of the program or on my Instagram DMs. So hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, don't forget to pay the man.